Success is seeing people how God sees them. Please welcome Julie Benson.
So I decided when nobody was on the slate for today that I would put on my little black party dress and talk about holidays.
All right.
So I also realized that there's two types of people in the world. Those that go, holidays, yeah, bring them on. And those that go, holidays, I want a blanket and a dark room and a clock that moves really, really quickly. So I thought I would title this discussion, Surviving the Holidays. And there's 4 different elements that I want to talk to you about. And this will give you a little bit of a snippet as to how I kind of walk through different scenarios with my clients as well. Scenario number 1 is on traditions. If you think about what were the traditions that you remember from your childhood, and I like to challenge you, are you moving those traditions into the next generation? Or are you rebuilding right now, newly married, blending families, loss of family person, in the holiday celebration, that you now can create new traditions? You can take an old tradition and tweak it. There's several different things that you can do, and the reason that we need traditions is so that we're creating memories. So that when you move down the years and you look back, there are memories there. Those memories are there for a reason, because they build our family history. You can do anything around Thanksgiving, print on colored paper the leaf diagram, and have all your members write a I am thankful for. I did that in 2003 for the first time, and just recently unearthed those leaves and could actually read what all the family members wrote way back then that they were thankful for. You could do basically anything for Thanksgiving that even leads into the holidays of Christmas. But what you want to do is create some traditions so that there's something that the people talk about. I had my oldest daughter make a mention of a memory this last weekend, and my youngest daughter said, "What are you talking about? What? You don't remember? Da 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 da." And she's like, "I have no idea what you're talking about." So this banter is going back and forth. My oldest daughter can't believe that her 10-year younger sister doesn't have any memory of those family traditions that we had. So she's kind of blaming herself for kind of upsetting the apple cart. We do things differently now. But there's the thing of, if there's a grandparent and what did they do, what can you take into the next generations. The second area of surviving the holidays is those multiple generations. Several of us this year in this group alone have lost a loved one over this last year. I challenge you, do not ignore the loss. Do not overlook the absence of somebody being at the table this holiday season. Do something to celebrate them. Have a funniest memory about grandma conversation. Have something that you can share that is not avoiding the obvious loss that's there. Allow your heart to grieve, but your head to rejoice in all of the memories. One year I took old pictures from my grandmother's storage box, black and white, old pictures, and scanned them in, cut them out. Every place setting had a really old picture of Grandma's life. I'm very visual, so I thought it would be fun just to see the really old pictures that I had come across. What I didn't expect, and the greater part of what happened, is that I watched my kids learn from their great-grandmother the family story. And that was priceless. I didn't even expect that. I thought, oh, it'd be fun to look at these really super old pictures of these people. I wish I had a video of it, because that was golden, to be able to hear the family story being told. There's 4 generations around that table, so that was wonderful to see. But let me move to surviving the holidays number 3, because this is not the person who touched our hearts deeply, but the person that raises the hair on the back of our neck, or causes us to clench our jaw or tense up. The person that we can't ignore, they're in the family, we can't not invite them. We have to be able to create a way in which to make holidays a much safer place. Think about, right, the whole Stephen Covey, think with the end in mind. Think about what you want that Thanksgiving dinner to look like. Think about what you want that Christmas celebration day to look like. Most every unsafe person has a pattern. So think about the pattern. Think about how that unsafe person inflicts and kind of upsets the whole family dynamic, and then plan around that, because we can't control those people, but we can protect the remainder. I have an unsafe person in my family, so I'm strategic. I tell the family, hey, come somewhere between 10 and 11, whatever works for you. I tell this person, come at 1 o'clock. We're eating at 1:30. And when they get there, I have a project for them to do. Think of any project. Hey, will you watch the dinner rolls so they don't burn? Will you make the gravy? Will you iron the cloth napkins? Something so that that person, they're there, they're involved, but they're also somewhat limited in the scope in which they can kind of inflict on the rest of the group. Then, when it comes down to sitting down, I strategically place this person between my overly optimistic son-in-law, huge optimism, nothing's going to faze him, and a very strong dynamic personality. That way there's healthy boundaries around this unsafe person. Whatever they say can only go so far. And the dinner conversation for everyone else at the table is joyful. And you want to remember those joyful moments, not the bad ones. So then that transitions me into surviving the holidays, number 4. And that would be yourselves, your loved ones, your families, because don't shoot the messenger, but we are just weeks away from 2019 showing up. Which means 2018 is going to end. There has to be a necessary ending for every necessary beginning for you to transition well. So think about whether it's on your way home from work today or over the weekend, sometime be intentional. Think about what 2018 looked like. What did it feel like? What did you learn and do not want to repeat? What did you have to traverse that you don't want to have happen going forward into 2019? Because here's the catch. You are going to be wherever you go. So if you can change anything out of 2018, what would it be? The opposite side of that coin is 2019. Who do you want to be in 2019? What do you not want to carry forward, and therefore you need to intentionally prevent from going into 2019? What do you want to be able to create in 2019 that you weren't able to accomplish in 2018? I'm not a resolution maker, because there's an extreme flaw with resolutions. There's not a goal with a date and backed up steps on how you're going to get there. A resolution is an intention. I can intend to do A, B, C, and D, but unless I'm really intentional in setting up the steps and the timelines in which to do it, the probability of it happening is near zero. So think about who you want to be. Think about what you want to do this year, something that maybe you tried, whether it in your business, and it wasn't as successful. That doesn't mean it was wrong. Tweak it. How can you make that better? You don't have to reinvent the wheel with everything. With your family, how can you be able to take a situation or a family dynamic or that unsafe person and distance yourself? Who do you need to spend more time with? Because they energize you and they encourage you and they build you up. Who do you need to spend less time with? Because they deplete you and they depress you and they just create more drama in your life. Those are things you can be intentional about. And I would love to be able to help you, your loved ones, your family members, your coworkers, be able to transition that. Because quite often, it's our lack of time that we create in our own lives to be able to say, okay, what needs to be different here? or just the lack of time to be quiet enough to say, okay, what do I want to do different? Once you realize what you want to do differently, the next step to that is to figure out how. That's my expertise. I don't want to create extra drama. I want to eliminate extra drama, right? I want to be able to help everyone live a more dynamic life, and that's why I want to create a safe place to have difficult conversations and figure out how to do differently. So with that, the holidays are coming. We can't stop them. They're here for a reason. They're traditional. They happen every year, but there is a way that we can survive them. So from my house to yours, happy holidays.